Hi guys, Colleen here. I almost feel like I should call it Colleen's Corner or something. All right, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show, and I know there's a lot of other blogs out there that have done this, but I just thought since I've been kind of trying to be the, you know, lab rat, I figured it would make sense that I would go ahead and do my own how to mix injectable HCG on my channel. So that's what this is going to be today. I am going to show you how to properly mix your HCG. Okay, so I'm going to actually change the direction of the camera here so that you can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I kind of have my stuff spread out here. I've cleaned this whole area so that it is clean and, you know, basically sanitary, because it should be. And this is the syringe that you want to use when you're going to be mixing, actually putting in your backwater. Oh my gosh, okay, there we go. Your backwater to mix with the HCG. That mixing syringe comes like this, and it should be all sealed, all nice and everything, and you would open it up. I went ahead and I just opened this one up so that it was ready to go. Okay, and then you always want to make sure that all your containers, these aren't even popped off yet, but when they're popped off, you also clean the areas of all of them with a handy dandy alcohol wipe. Now the reason why I think it's better to have the alcohol wipes rather than using like cotton and rubbing alcohol is because you know for sure that as long as you're careful, not any one of these surfaces will have been touched as far as the wipe, except for see, like that. Okay, so have the alcohol, everything's all nice and clean. So what you want to do first is, of course, when your HCG first comes, you've got it in, comes in this box first, of course, you know, like via through customs and all that. And then, like, for instance, this is the one that I'm going to be mixing today. This is the Corian 5,000 IUs. And I made sure it has a good long expiration. It wasn't going to expire until 3 of 2013. Okay. And my first one, I always kept the same box, but this was, actually used UCOG when I very first started. So that's the old box of that. So when that first comes, of course, this little guy right here was in this box along with the dilutant, which never gets used. It always just ends up getting, you know, to the wayside because you go ahead and you use your back water. That's this. Okay, you notice when I'm touching stuff, it's like I'm not touching the tops of where things are going. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take your needle off and you want to go ahead and get some of the air going out there. And so first I'm going to put in some air into the backwater. I really don't think exactly how much air you're putting in it is all that big a deal. You just want to make sure you are putting in some so that it kind of has more of that suction thing going on. So your first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're doing 1 milliliter of water, because this is the backwater that's going to be going into the HCG vial to mix that little nugget of product that's in there, because we're going to be dissolving this little powder. Sorry guys, this little thing of powder that's in here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put that in. And I always like to try to put things in kind of on the slower side so that, I guess I look at it like I don't want to bruise the HCG, especially since, you know, they even say don't even shake it. You know, make sure that if you can just roll it, and that's all, because of it being a little sensitive creature that it is. So, okay, so now I've got my 1 milliliter of backwater in there with my HCG. Okay, so I'm just kind of rolling it around. Want to look and make sure, yep, it all looks good and dissolved. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to get that stuff out of there. So I go ahead and I put this back in. And I brought it out. Okay, so now I'm going to get the rest of the backwater that I need to add to the mixture. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is up to a 3 milliliter, so I know I just go ahead and I fill this up all the way that it can to the last limit line to get my first batch of 3. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to add that into here. So what you're going to have ultimately is a complete 10 milliliters in this vial that you'll be serving out from for your injections each day. Okay, so that's my first 3. Remember that first 1 is in there already with the HCG mixed. So we go back in and we pull for the next 3. You always want to be, you know, careful about any air that doesn't need to be in there. So here's my second batch of 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And then I'll just have my third and last batch of 3, and then I'll be done. And then I'm going to show you how I like to store mine. I'm kind of ultra careful when it comes to how I store my HCG, because when I first started, the video that I watched explained how, I'll actually take some air out here, see how, like, I'm not letting any of the liquid come out, but see how the air is actually wanting to come out? So I want to extract some air out of there so that my last 3 will fit in the vial. Alright, so anyway, they were saying that the HCG is very sensitive to light exposure. So I'm going to show you actually how I store mine ultra carefully to make sure that it stays kind of in the darkness of the fridge when it's not being in use for my weight release. Okay, whoa! Okay, so I'm going to go back in because it slipped out. You drip a little bit of backwater. It's not that big a deal. You are going to have plenty as long as you buy the right amount. Okay. Make sure I'm pushing the air out of there. I go a little bit beyond the 3 and pull it, push back up. Okay, I've got my 3. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. That will be my last bit, and then I'll be all set with my batch for this round. Okay. Alrighty. So there I have it. There's my batch. And the needle that I use for injecting is this little guy here. I'm thinking since I've already lost quite a bit, I'll probably fill to 25, which is about there, and then I'll adjust depending on what I think, how I feel as far as if there's hunger or not. Now the way I like to do my HCG as far as protecting it is I wrap it up like this. Like I said, I know I'm ultra careful, and then I actually put it in here. And not that you have to do this, this is just my little strange way of getting ultra protective of it, so I put bubble wrap. But as far as the exposure to light, I actually use an old supplement bottle that is amber in color, which I even have like padded with some tissue at the bottom of it. And, oh wait, I'm sorry, my bad. I don't put this in the bubble wrap. I actually put this in the bottle, close it up. See, so now it's all protected. It can't even shake around. And then I put this in the bubble wrap. I know it's total overkill, and you don't have to do this. People always ask me what the heck I do, so I'm just sharing what I do. Okay, so then I have it in my little baggie, and I wrap it all around, and then I put it at the very bottom drawer of my fridge where no one else bothers it. So that's how I do that. Okay, and so as far as, I'm not gonna, drop pants and show you how I inject, but basically you always want to make sure you use your alcohol wipe on the area where you're going to inject. You could always do it like around your belly button area, or I go into the bathroom so I can actually see my like kind of hip and butt cheek area, and then I just like swap it with the wipe, and then I already have it loaded as far as the needle, and I just kind of, you know, go right in there. Someone asked me, how do you get it in your butt or hip on your own? That's how I do it. But you could also do it around your belly button area, anywhere in here. But see, now, like, I don't really have that much fat. I don't, you know, it's like, I like to kind of go for more of the fatty areas if I can. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks.